Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I'm your host Eric Smith, and today, in honor of International Sequel Day, the follow-up to International Werewolf Day, I'm going to be talking about Wolf Hunt 2 by Jeff Strand, published by Dark Regions Press. Of course, it's the sequel to Wolf Hunt, which I reviewed recently, and I'll have a link for that review in the description below in case you want to check that out first. And then you can come back and hear about Wolf Hunt 2. And George Orton and Lou Flynn are back. Just a couple of months, I think, maybe, have passed since the events of Wolf Hunt. And George and Lou are trying to recover, and they're hiding out and just hoping to stay off the radar. So they're down in Mexico, kicked back, but some bad guys show up looking for George and Lou, and our not so bad guys get away and head up to Canada, but they're tracked down again and they get captured, and they're taken to Mr. Dewey, the shadowy figure from the first book. And with Mr. Dewey is a new character named Mr. Wraith. I think, maybe that's his name. I'm going with the I before E, except after C kind of pronunciation. Wraith, like neighbor. I don't know. That's what I called him. That's what was in my head when I was reading. So, anyway, so we've got Mr. Dewey and Mr. Wraith, who wanted George and Lou, and they're going to give our heroes, I use that term loosely, our heroes, a chance to redeem themselves. Mr. Dewey wanted a werewolf, and George and Lou kind of screwed that up in the first book, so he wants them to go and get him a different werewolf. And if they can do it, then they're told that they'll be left alone to live their lives in peace. So George and Lou accept the deal. There's not much else they can do, and they have to go and capture a 14-year-old girl named Allie and bring her back to Dewey and Wraith. And of course, things don't go as planned. All sorts of mayhem ensues, and there's blood and violence and craziness and hilarity. And that's your basic premise. So, it's Jeff Strand. It's Wolf Hunt 2. It's fantastic. Of course, the writing is as wonderful as always. Strand just has a nice, crisp and clean writing style. It's very straightforward. And as I said in my review for Wolf Hunt, I think his biggest strength is his characters and his dialogue. George and Lou are just as wonderful as they are in the first book. They might be my favorite pair of characters after Hap and Leonard from the Joe Lansdale series, Hap and Leonard series. Hap and Leonard are just the tops. And then I think maybe George and Lou, they're just a great pair. And, again, they're, if you haven't taken the time to watch the first review, or you haven't read the first book, George and Lou are basically a couple of thugs. They're a couple of leg breakers, but they're not horrible people. They do have some rules that they live by, and they're just everyday Joes trying to make a living. What are you going to do? They are bad guys, but they're not bad guys. You know what I'm saying? So, really a great couple of characters. And then with Dewey and Wraith, you got some interesting bad guys. Sort of I hate to use the word masterminds because neither one of them seems that brilliant, but they are the guys pulling the strings, I guess. I mean, they have an army of thugs working for them. So they're pretty interesting. Allie, I can't say she's a typical 14-year-old girl because I don't know any 14-year-old girls, and I can't remember back to when I did associate with 14-year-old girls. But she's a fun character. Pretty interesting for a young werewolf girl. We're also introduced to Shane, Crab, and Robin. 3 more werewolves. So the stakes have gone up. We had 1 werewolf in the first book and at least 4 in this one. And man, Shane, Crab, and Robin are just vicious, vicious, vile creatures. They, I was kind of hoping after Ivan the serial killer werewolf in the first book that maybe we'd have a werewolf that was reluctant or used their powers for good or something, but no, these guys are just as vicious as Ivan was in the first book. Just bloody, horrible people. Creatures, whatever you want to call them. But great fun to read. Really interesting characters, which is important to me. Again, anyone who watches my book reviews knows how important character is. And Strand is just a master at creating entertaining and interesting characters. The dialogue, again, the banter between characters is fantastic. And I don't want to forget Eugene, another new character who I'm not really going to talk too much about because you have to meet him for yourself. Just a fascinating, original character. Just another fantastic piece to the puzzle that is Wolf Hunt 2 by Jeff Strand. I'd say read it, if nothing else, read this for Eugene. Just fantastic. So yeah, I mean, it's Jeff Strand, so chances are I'm going to be a huge fan of it. He does what he does with this, what one should do with a sequel, which is up the stakes. Everything is turned up to 11, as they say. I don't know if it's more violent and gory than the first one. There's a lot of violence and gore in both. I just think you have more people involved in the violence and gore, which may make it seem like there's just that much more going on. So, another great one. I'll jump into my rating here. Oh, before I do that, I do have one small quibble, and I'm not going to go into detail because it involves a spoiler for the first book. So if you haven't read that, I don't want to give that away yet. If you want to know what it is, you can ask me in the comments below, and I'll let you know. Comments will be open for spoilers. Just please be polite and post a spoiler warning. But anyway, so my one little quibble is that there is something in Wolf Hunt 2 that seems to contradict something in the first book. Without giving anything away, it's just something that one of the characters in Wolf Hunt 2 thinks about contradicts a very big event in the first book. And I don't know if it's if the character just doesn't know any better, although it seems like they should, or if maybe there was something going on in the first book that we, the readers, weren't actually aware of. But anyway, it's just a tiny quibble, and I never would have even noticed it if I hadn't just finished reading Wolf Hunt before I started reading this. Because I couldn't remember that much about the first book because I read it a while ago. So if I had just jumped into this, it would have gone right over my head. I never would have thought anything of it. But having read the two right in a row, it really jumped out. I just read this thing and I was like, wait a minute. That's completely contrary to what happened in the first book. So I don't know exactly what's going on. Anyway, so that's the only little tiny problem I had, was this apparent contradiction. If anybody can clear it up, hey, that's great. Otherwise, it's just a little thing that kind of bugs me. So, that being said, I still give this 5 out of 5 werewolf silhouettes with glowing red eyes. And see how I added a 2 because it's the sequel, and I'm just too lazy to have drawn up a new sheet with my rating on it. But 5 out of 5 because it really is just a fantastic read. It's entertaining, it's funny, it's horrifying, and it has that those Jeff Strand characters and that Jeff Strand dialogue that's just so fantastic. Just glancing over at my bookshelf over here where my Jeff Strand books are, I mean, I can't see anything over there that has been a disappointment to me. And I don't see anything that wasn't just so well written and so entertaining. I do have a Jeff Strand over there. My mass market paperback Jeff Strand is over there. All the hardbacks and trades are over there because I'm just not that organized apparently. But yeah, just glancing over, some of them are absolutely gut-bustingly hilarious. Some of them less so. Some of them more violent and gory than the others. This is definitely in the violent and gory catalog. Not hardcore horror by any means, but definitely just good, entertaining, violent fun, I guess. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here that's not fun, but reading it is very fun. So that's Wolf Hunt 2 by Jeff Strand from Dark Regions Press. I will have links for this book in the description below. As I said, I will have a link for my review of Wolf Hunt in the description below. I'll probably throw in a link for Wolf Hunt, so you can get it all in one place. So that'll all be down in the description below. If you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put them in the comments below. If you know how to pronounce this, feel free to put it in the comments below. If you can explain away the apparent contradiction between Wolf Hunt 2 and Wolf Hunt, put that in the comments below. I guess I could technically do the old Marvel thing and give a no prize. And I mean literally you would get no prize if you could explain away an apparent contradiction. So anyway, all that, comments are open. Again, we can post spoilers in the comments. Just post a spoiler warning. We try to be polite here. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I think that covers everything. So, until next time, read more books.